Hi guys, this is Jamie with Point Tech. We're doing a full disassembly teardown video today. We have here an HP Stream 11. Full model number is 11-D001DX. So we'll show you how to do a full teardown. Regardless of what part you're replacing, we'll show you how to get in there and do it. So on the bottom, you're going to have 4 screws on the bottom. And then you can have 2 screws here, 1 screw here. Also, under these round feet, pry those up gently with a flathead screwdriver, a small one. They just re-stick after. You're going to have 2 screws hidden under there. Then you also have 2 little rubber feet here with 2 screws hidden under there. So same thing, pry those up with a flathead. Make sure you get them all, because if you don't, you could break your stuff when you're taking it apart. Now I'm going to take my pry tool, small metal pry tool, slide it underneath the seam on your palm rest, and start gently prying it up. It'll take a little bit. This model I found is actually really tight in there, so it takes a little bit of oomph. Yeah, see, it's not coming up very easily, but it will. Oof. Oop, there it comes. Oop. Yeah, I've already taken this apart before for the last video we just did, and it's still really hard to get apart, so just be careful as you're taking it out. Alright, so it's fairly off right now. Now be careful when you take this off, don't just rip it off. As you can see under here, we got some ribbon cables going on there. You got one there, and one here. So in order to take this off safely, they have these clips have metal clips that fold up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one, fold it up, like that, slide the ribbon right out. Fold it back down so you don't break it. Fold it up, slide it out, down. Same thing here, this is really little, so be careful with this one. These things are very fragile, and you can, most likely, you're not going to be able to replace them. Actually, you know what? That one's taped down, so I'm going to leave that in. I'll unplug it up here. There we go. So there's your palm rest. This is your keypad. It's a French inset keyboard, so if you're replacing the entire keyboard on this, you're going to have to wreck all these plastic rivets all the way around, break them off, and take this keyboard off. And what that means is when you put another keyboard on, you're not just going to have these rivets there anymore. So you can do that if you want, but the keyboard will never be as firmly in there, it'll never be as well set. You're better off replacing individual keys than you are this entire keyboard. As much as possible, leave these French inset keyboards alone. This is your touchpad. If you're replacing this, we'll show you how to take this off. Undo your touchpad ribbon cable right there. Sticky there. You got a screw here. Oop, screw here under the tape. There you go. Alright. There, and it goes, falls right out. There's your touchpad. So that's how you would take that out. Put that aside. Back over here. First thing we always suggest doing is getting rid of your battery. As you're poking around here with a screwdriver, as you can see, this motherboard has a protective covering. But still, if you're poking around with a screwdriver, you can touch some metal things and make some connections that you shouldn't, and you can fry your motherboard. You'll see a spark. So we always suggest taking this battery out first. Slide that off, unplug it. Now we're going to go around and take off the battery screws. Okay, 3, 4, oh, there you go. Thing right there. Okay, looks just like 4 screws, not bad. Battery comes right out pretty easy. Alright. Then you get your speakers here. As you can see, there are no screws. They're probably just held down by double-sided tape. You can take those off pretty easily. Be careful when you do, because you can still break it. But they're plugged into the motherboard here. So we'll take that out. Wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it. Okay. Careful when you're taking out these things. You don't just want to grab the wires and pull, because they're weak. What will happen is the port will stay inside and the and the wires will just rip off of it. So wiggle it back and forth. What else do we got plugged in here? Your motherboard is plugged in right there to your card reader. Put that off, pull that out. And this card reader's got a couple screws here and here. And that should just come out. Right there. We're replacing that. Also, what do we have plugged in here? Here's your antenna wire plugged into your Wi-Fi card. Unplug that. Wi-Fi card is held down by a single screw. Slide the Wi-Fi card out. Like that. You need to replace that. What else do we have here? We have the power jack. It's plugged into your motherboard here. Pull that out, same way we did the battery. There you go. And that's not held in by a screw, it's just set in there. You can wiggle that out. There you go. If you're replacing your power jack because it burned out or whatever. Now your LCD or your video cable comes down here, plugs into your motherboard here. Pop that clip up. Can't get in there. There we go. Pull that out. Alright. Now it looks like everything's fairly unplugged. Now you just go ahead and unscrew your motherboard. Screw there. Screw there. It's always good to if you're not used to this, it's always good to, when you open this up and or at various stages, just take a picture of how it looks with your phone so you can see what things are plugged in, you can see where the screws go when you're putting this back together. Because if you're not used to this, if it isn't a familiar environment, when you go to put this back together, it'll look pretty foreign. Now you just pick it up, wiggle it out of the USB sockets. There's your motherboard right there. Now if you want to take your LCD off, they're usually attached to your hinges. We'll go ahead and unscrew these hinges right here. I always like holding up my LCD when I'm doing this. If not, it'll fall and you could break it. I'm always paranoid of breaking the LCDs. Looks like there's 2 screws on each hinge, which is pretty normal. Alright, this should just wiggle off. There you go. Antenna wire still running through. So there's your bottom case. And this is your LCD assembly. If you were just lucky enough to replace this with a whole other assembly, you could just take this off, drop a new one right in. But if you have to get in here for any reason, let me show you how to do that. It looks like down here, these are just sticky tape things. These aren't real plastic. I'm guessing there's screws under there. Let me just try to take off this bezel now. Take my pry tool, put it under the rim of the bezel. Get it in there. This is very tight. I'm having trouble getting my pry tool in there. There we go. Get a little play there, a little more there. Okay, so that's just what you gotta do. Just gotta go slow, wiggle it. Alright, turn this around. Nice and slow, watch out for your webcam. hinge out of the way. Alright, so this is a sticky tape. Alright, see how that just sticks right off? Those always freak me out. I never know if that's an actual tape or if it's plastic, if I'm breaking it. So, let's peel that off of this side too. Alright, there we go, there's the other one. Alright, let's unscrew this. Unscrew this. That should be the end of it. There we go. Alright, so there's your bezel. Comes right off. And there's your LCD. Your hinges are held on by 2 screws in the bottom, and then a screw up top. And your LCD is right there. So if you're taking your LCD out, you would undo this one here, this one here. Let's see if we have to unscrew our hinges. We may not have to. Alright, let's see if that did it. Okay, looks like it did. Okay, so there's your LCD, flip it over, and there's your LCD cable still attached. If you want to get that off, you're not going to be able to just rip it off because there's a sticker here. That's pretty normal. Let's go ahead and take this sticker off. They're usually not that easy to get off because you usually don't want it off. Go ahead, peel that off, nice and slow. Be careful not to just pull it. And now that that's off, you should be able to just slide that right out. Right like that. Alright, so there's your LCD. And that is how you would do a full teardown if you wanted your hinges off. 2 screws there, 2 screws there. And there's your video cable going all the way up to your webcam. If this was helpful, if it got you to where you needed to go, please like the video. If you like do-it-yourself laptop repair, please subscribe. And thank you for watching.